Hi, boys and girls. This is Auntie Elsa. Our church will talk about missionaries in this couple weeks. Therefore, Auntie Elsa would like to introduce a missionary who loves to share gospel, God's stories to a lot of children in this world. His name is Jesse Irvin Overholzer. He is the founder of Child Evangelism Fellowship, or we known as CEF. Therefore, in 1920s, he was starting his ministry by telling about God to children. He had a dream. Every child in this world will listen and know and hear about gospel. So this is a story about young Jesse. Jesse looked up at his mother with big questions. Who made God? Who is Jesus? Will I go to heaven? Questions, questions, questions. Young Jesse was full of them. And the mom said, Son, why don't you ask your father? But Jesse was afraid to ask his father, who was very strict. And at that moment, Jesse's parents and his older brother and sister had traveled from Illinois to California in a covered wagon. With 35 other families, they had crossed hot prairies, wide rivers, and steep, steep mountains. When they arrived in California, Jesse's family feared and worshiped God. Every Sunday they went to church to listen carefully to all the preacher had to say. The church Jesse's family attended had a lot of rules. Some of rules weren't even in the Bible. But if you didn't obey the rules, the church thought that you were committing sin. Sin. Jesse knew he had sinned. He also knew that God is holy and perfect, and God hates sin. Jesse worried about what would happen when he died. Jesse thought, isn't there some way that I can be sure I'm going to heaven? Sometimes he lay awake at night and worrying about dying and what would happen to him. Most evening, Jesse lay on the floor looking at the family Bible, a treasure that had survived his parents' long cross-country trip, and wondering because Jesse knew that he is kind of naughty and tricky. He wasn't mean, but he knows that he shouldn't do that. He felt bad afterwards. Always his sin bothered him. It was like a heavy weight on his heart. He needed someone to tell him about Jesus and his love. Boys and girls, a lot of children are like Jesse. And God wants you and me to tell our friends and families that He loves them and wants to forgive their sins.